And you know these new solid-state drives are getting cheaper and cheaper all the time, and they can hold a tremendous amount of data. It's only a matter of time before you'll be able to fit one of those in a pocket and be able to do something as well. When we get into when we're looking to prevent data leakage in our business, what areas should we really concentrate on the most?
Well, one of the main areas that's as you just mentioned with the solid state drives, and kind of started off with the USB sticks, and those have grown up to I think 128 gig or so is about the biggest one I've seen. But even the removable hard drives, so I've got a USB hard drive sitting on my desk that is 300 gig, and it cost me about $100. 3 months ago, I saw the same one for $75 last week, and it'll fit pretty conveniently into my shirt pocket or my pants pocket.
Wow.
So there were terabyte ones sitting right next to it. I just didn't need that much storage. So
wow.
So it is. That's one of the big areas of concern, is that endpoint that if somebody.
Hello.
If somebody walks into an organization either as an employee or as maybe a guest or a contractor, and connects a device to a machine, it's very easy for them to remove data.
Very.
And so at GFI, we offer a product, GFI Endpoint Security, that really helps organizations combat that threat. And it can work a couple different ways. The software allows you to deploy agents to each machine, and those agents have customized policies that say on that particular machine, these certain sets of users have particular permissions. So maybe some of your users can't access USB memory sticks at all because it's not something they need for part of their business.
Right.
And maybe a different set of users have read-only permissions where they can read information off of the USB stick, but they can't copy things off.
Right. Okay.
So that product has a ton of granularity and flexibility built into it to really allow you to control what happens at those endpoints, as well as just monitoring what happens. So maybe those employees need that access, but you want to just keep an eye on it and see what they're doing. So you can certainly set it up in that way that they're allowed to read and write, but everything they do is going to be logged over to the server.
That's a very affordable tool as well. So wouldn't you also consider your email as another endpoint in your business?
I would, definitely. I mean, it's the kind of thing that a user could very easily take sensitive data and forward it out to a Yahoo account or a Gmail account or whatever it may be, and then retrieve that from anywhere in the world. So it is something to be concerned about from an email perspective. And we have a product as well, GFI Mail Security, that I would say most of our customers utilize it on the inbound side to keep viruses and malicious attachments from getting into the network.
Okay.
But that product does outbound filtering as well. So if you wanted to say that particular file names, particular file types, or particular content within the email should get flagged on the outbound side as users not allowed to send it, you can set that up as well and have that quarantined where an administrator can eyeball it and say, this thing really shouldn't be leaving the organization, and then you can take the appropriate steps at that point.
So if I have maybe a group of employees in a call center, let's say, and they have no needs maybe to be mailing spreadsheets, I could go ahead and block them as a group from being able to send an outbound email with a spreadsheet attached.
Yeah, absolutely. The policies can be configured on a per user or per group basis, okay. And you could block individual file types or individual file names or the entire file type itself. So just block all spreadsheets from going out. Certainly. Oh,
that is so useful. And you also can block email based on the verbiage in that email as well. Kevin, I had a situation that I knew of down in Indianapolis. It was a mortgage lender, and some of the folks in there were passing around really nasty jokes back and forth, and they were sending to one of the gals there who one day just started printing those out and took them to your lawyer and was able to initiate a lawsuit. That cost them a lot of money to defend. With something like that mail security, You could quarantine those emails based on some of the stuff in the email, couldn't you?
Sure, you could look for keywords within the subject or body of the email, and if you saw the word social security number or employee ID or any of the particular terms that you wanted to identify, then you could set that up as something that would be identified on those outbound emails. And one other point on the attachment filtering is we perform real file type checking, actually with both mail security and endpoint security. So if somebody was, one of the clever guys in the call center recognized that we were preventing them from sending out XLS attachments, then they may try to rename it to TXT or to something else,
right,
to try to bypass the filter, and mail security would identify it as a file type mismatch and quarantine it at that point.
That's pretty good. So what sets the tools like GFI endpoint security, mail security apart from as competitive products?
Well, really, the thing that kind of as a company sets us apart from a lot of other organizations, and it applies to these products as well, is that GFI occupies a kind of a unique spot where we're a big enough company and robust enough in terms of our development organization and support organizations that we can have these products with very rich feature sets that offer that are very technically competitive in the marketplace and have a very strong organization behind them, while at the same time recognizing that our sweet spot is in the small to medium-sized business market and pricing and supporting our products accordingly. So we're able to offer the feature sets that are comparative to the enterprise-level solutions while being able to match price with the very small kind of mom-and-pop type shops. Right. And that really applies to both of these products, that mail security is very competitive in terms of features and just blows away the competition on price when it comes to the other antivirus vendors out there.
Okay.
And then endpoint security is the same way. And specific to mail security, one of the areas where we find that it stands out above the competition is the ability to use up to 5 antivirus engines from well-known vendors like AVG and Kaspersky and McAfee within the mail security product itself. So we'll talk more about later kind of the layered security approach and, right, and why those 5 antivirus engines are really an important thing to have.